I can go to my principal and pitch a program, and 9 out of 10 I will get a yes, as long as it benefits the kids. It's good for the community. It'll, put CMSA in a good light as well. But, how is this going to help the kids in the long run?
I love the space that it creates for you to be the professional that you were hired to be. Here, it's like an immediate, what do you need? How can I support you? And I think, again, whether you're a new teacher starting out or a veteran teacher, that's music to your ears, because you have an idea the night before. You want to work with it with your kids tomorrow.
What I like about CMSA, it's been able to put its autonomy to good use. They're not tied to some of the rules and regulations of ordinary public schools, and are thereby free to innovate. Free to ask their teachers to go that extra mile for the kids. I think that's good, because the number one consideration should be the children and the quality of education they receive.
We're partnered up with an organization called FIRST. And so this organization has 3 different branches. One is FLL, FTC, and FRC, First Tech Challenge. That's what we're part of. Now here, there's we're working with actual robots, and we have to outreach and do all these things like real engineers do. And so that's our field right now.
We built a robot on the objective we have. So each year they have like a different objective. Like either the robot has to like pick a ball up and throw it in like a container.
So they invite us to an kickoff event where they show us the arena and ask questions and actually like explain what the objective for the years are. And after that, we get together as a team, try to brainstorm what we learned from previous years that we can apply to this year. So you pick up the blue balls and you're supposed to shoot them into the middle vortex here. And each game is played for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So the first 30 seconds is autonomous. So basically you program the robot with sensors and everything. So the robot's supposed to act on its own brain. So that's why you're supposed to program it. So for that objective, the robot goes on to the sides, as you can see those blue beacons there, and pick the alliance color that you're a part of, and you get points accordingly to that. And then during the 2 minutes, it's called the teleop. Basically, you're battling for balls and scoring them into the middle vortex, and also pushing the balls into this side ridge here for 1 point each, or you can throw the balls in the middle for 5 points each. And then the last 30 seconds is the end game. And as you can see, the huge balls over there, the robot picks up these balls and scores them on top of the vortex. So you're supposed to land on. It's a lot that goes into the game. There are 4 robots in each match, and there's a lot of strategy that's involved too. We have our design team make designs on 3D softwares like PTC Creo and Autodesk Inventor. From there, we try to prototype designs and see what designs can work better. We build a final design for that, and we go on to build more prototypes and then combine all those things together. And after that, we go to the competition, and then what we learn from there, and if you make it past there, we get those experiences and whatever we learned back to our school, and then focus on that, what we can improve.
We work together in different things, and each of us have different roles, and that roles affect like what we do. If we don't do our job for that day, then it affects every one of us.
What I look for is sort of the spark of imagination and stuff like that. Technology, and especially programming as well, is very imaginative based. There is no linear path, especially with programming. A child can take any path, or a student can take any path they want towards a solution to a problem.
I really focused on the engineering notebook, and so it was really interesting because what people don't really know is that the engineering notebook is actually more important than Real Robot. We could actually not proceed to states or any other competitions without it. And so I felt like I had a very important role, and I wanted to take that very seriously.
I want to be an engineer. I've always enjoyed like finding stuff, pieces of scrap metals, and I just like build stuff out of it. And I guess it's been like fun and exciting at the same time, like throughout my life. I guess that's what makes me want to be an engineer.
They're learning about a possible career path while they're doing all this, which is fabulous. You know, because most of the robotics kids are in their Project Lead the Way classes, which are the pre-engineering classes. So they're learning that that's an option. They're learning how to collaborate as a team, which I think is huge.
In my career, what I want to do in the future is I want to become an astrophysicist. So when I'm learning in math and when I'm learning in science, I need these specific skills in order to reach my aspirations. So I feel like that's what gets me up in the morning. That's why I wake up every day at 5:30. Is because I really want to do well and reach my personal career.
Overall, I've been part of FIRST for 5 years now. Started from First Lego League to FTC right now. And over the years, I've gotten to know like a lot of things that engineers do in real life, like collaborating with other teams and working with actual engineers from like environmental engineering companies and seeking out in your community to fundraise and talk to like local businesses and everything. Okay, so there's a zip tie that's broken right now, right here. So we'll just quickly fix it. It'll be like a 2-minute fix. Cool. Connected like this, actually. Here. No, you need a lot more. Oh yeah, you're right. We don't really fix things with duct tape that often, but it's kind of a quick solution. Yeah, sometimes you just have to if nothing goes well, duct tape is always there to rescue us. So.
When something isn't right on the robot, they go away into prototyping and even make a brand new robot, trying to figure out what will be the best solution.
To make mistakes, that's what it's about. Our teammates gather around and be like, okay, so this is what we did wrong. This is what we need to do. So we kind of fixed it and we'll help each other along with it.
When I was at CMSA, I joined the program called Lumity, which we built websites, and I got business tips, and from there I've been growing.
I like working with the students and helping them to, gain knowledge and real world knowledge, right? And I need a new website too, so it just kind of worked out really well.
She was the client we had. She was the first client actually. She was like the building step. She taught us she knew that it was our first time building websites, so she understood.
I met with them every Saturday morning for about, I think it was 3 or 4 months. And so initially I came in and I'm like, okay, so what are we talking about today? Is there an agenda for the meeting? And they're like, well, I don't know what we're talking about today. I said, okay, so next meeting, let's have a list of things that you want to review, things you might need from me. I'll come in with some questions from you, that kind of thing. So from then on, it was awesome because then they had an agenda, they had things that they needed to tick off. They had deadlines. They created deadlines for having things available for the website, that type of thing. So it just, helping coach them too through, okay, so I'm not your client now. I'm going to be your coach. So this is how you talk to people, or this is what you ask for, or how you communicate, that kind of thing. So
how to manage your time with clients, something I would experience in a real life world when I'm in a job, as, my career I want to do. So I learned that from Nadine. Also, the other thing I learned was, basically develop, because she has some coding skills as well. And, I was able to connect with her, and having an adult and seeing how her life as she has her career and, inspired me to do have other options in my life.
About 50% of the businesses in my community do not have any online presence whatsoever. And that hurts their ability to have expand their customer base and sell their products and services. And what CMSA has done is it's enlisted their students to sit down with those businesses and help them develop a website to have an online presence so that they are able to expand their potential market for selling their goods and services.
A lot of business owners are really, really happy, because it's they're very community minded, and they're very interested they're very excited about the fact that residents and community members and students are doing this for them.
You know, about 80% of people do a lot of their shopping online, or they do a lot of their research for shopping online, and unless a business has an online presence, they're going to be behind the 8 ball.
I think it's a really great experience for them to be able to, one, not only learn how to code and create a website, but also learn how to work with a client. I'm in the industry where, I've had to work with clients. I've been on site projects and things like that. I learned everything on the job. I didn't have this experience. So for them to be able to learn how to talk to a client, learn how to run a project, learn how to run a meeting. I mean, I thought all those things were really just great experience for them.
What public charters are doing is, maximizing every ounce of energy and every drop that they get in terms of dollars to see how to best use it. And they're being creative, and they're allowed to do that. And I think every school should have that. Bureaucracy works on some level for some ideas and for some types of businesses. But I think for education, if you can't be creative and, try X because Y is not working, you're tying people's hands.
I think the presence of a school like CMSA has helped all the schools in my neighborhood. It's encouraged the traditional public schools to step up their game. The argument that somehow that this is a zero-sum game, that if you have a good charter school in the neighborhood, it comes at the expense of the local public schools, is belied by the facts in my neighborhood, by the history. CMSA has performed excellently. They continue to go up in the ranking, and yet their presence in the neighborhood has not hurt our local schools. School ratings and test scores at the local public schools have gone up as well.
It's the communication. It's reaching out to communities in the Rogers Park area, and I think we have to kind of look beyond the robot itself. It's really good, and I think that's what really brings people in. But it just really teaches people how to just think carefully and just know what's going on in the area, just the context of that. And so CMSA giving students this opportunity is just really good in developing their personal qualities.
One of the things that we learned was we just have to step up our game this year, build a better robot, have a better team, make more connections around with other teams and local engineering companies so we can stand out as a team. And I would say that's one of our key takeaways.
Roshan Siddiqui, who I know you interviewed, was chosen by The MASH, which is the Chicago Tribune's teen magazine, 2 years ago as one of the top 18 under 18 to watch for. He was deeply embarrassed by it, but it was a great accolade.
It's just allowed me to have so many deals of opportunity around me. I mean, I went to Romania, I traveled all around the U.S., going to state every time, meeting, collaborating with engineers, winning awards, and being in a team that really cares and building upon that. I think this school has changed me a lot as a person, so I'm grateful for that.